Welcome to Bijay's English class. Today I'm going to teach you relative clause. Before teaching relative clause, first you should know uh, clause. What is clause? Clause is a group of words having one subject and a finite verb in the predicate part. A clause can be uh, indefinite clause or subordinate clause. We can find indefinite clause in compound sentence. Two or more indefinite clauses we can find in compound sentence, and one indefinite or main clause and one or more subordinate clause or clauses we can find in the complex sentence. But in simple sentence, I taught in previous class, we can find only one subject and one finite verb, that is indefinite clause, or that we can say as main clause. Okay, it stands of its own. Indefinite clause stands of its own. It gives its complete thought, complete meaning. Okay, but in complex sentence we can find one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. What do you mean by indefinite clause, or we can also know the subordinate clause? First, you see the example. He did her labor, but couldn't pass in the exam. You see, here he did her labor. This is indefinite one clause, indefinite clause. This is another indefinite clause. Here he is omitted. You see, but is the conjunction. But conjuncts is a coordinating conjunction, coordinator. It conjuncts two indefinite clauses. Makes a compound sentence. But is a coordinator or coordinating conjunction. Okay? He did her labor. If you eliminate, if you drop this part, this gives complete sense. He could not pass in the exam. The subject is he. Could. The one finite form. This is non-pass, non-finite form. Couldn't. Negative form. Here, did. Finite form. Did is the only one verb, and that is main verb. That is finite verb. Now you see, here two indefinite clauses. Here two indefinite clauses. Here compound sentence. Here you see, this is I met a person. I met a person whose bicycle was stolen yesterday. Here, whose bicycle is this is SC, this is MC. This is indefinite clause. We can say this is MC main clause and SC subordinate clause. Here, whose is subordinate or subordinate conjunction. Here, whose bicycle was stolen yesterday. Here, it says something about the person. It gives specific or essential information about the person whose bicycle is stolen yesterday. The persons here that whose bicycle was stolen yesterday gives information about the person. Okay. Otherwise, we cannot know who was that person. Okay? It gives information about the person. It describes this person. It is yes, he cannot stand of its own. This gives complete sense. I met a person. It gives complete sense. It is also one single. If we drop this part, it will give. It will be also one simple sentence. This is indefinite clause. This is we can say as a main clause. In complex, we can find one main clause and one or more subordinate clause. Okay. Here, this is SC. Subordinate clause cannot stand of its own. It depends upon this. Okay. Here, this SC is of three types. One is a noun clause, another one is a relative clause or adjective clause, another one is adverb clause. Here, uh, what clause is it? You see, uh, this yes, see, this subordinate clause as gives specific information, gives information about a person. That's why it is used as an adjective. This clause is used as an adjective. Adjective describes noun. It's a noun phrase. Person is a noun. As it describes the noun, it is used as adjective. This clause is called an adjective clause. It's an adjective clause. Or we can say whose is used as a relative pronoun. It is used in the place of his. His bicycle was stolen yesterday. Instead of his, instead of pronoun, we have used relative pronoun. Okay? Here, what do you mean by relative clause? Relative clause is a subordinate clause which is used after the noun or noun phrase. It modifies, it describes, it says something about the person. Okay, that's why it is one. This SC equal to RC. This SC is equal to RC relative clause. Or you can say as an adjective clause. It acts as an adjective. Are you clear? This relative clause is of two types. One is a defining relative clause, another one is a non-defining relative clause. Defining relative, what about defining? Here, this example, in this example, whose bicycle was stolen yesterday, that describes a person. It gives us essential information about the person, about noun, person or thing. When the relative clause gives essential information about a person or a thing, that is called as is equal to defining relative clause. It defines, it describes, it gives essential information. If we drop this, we cannot know who is that person that I met. Who was that person I met? We cannot drop this part. Okay, next I will give you another example that you see. Here next example, I met Mohan whose bicycle was stolen yesterday. Here what is the difference you see? I met Mohan, this is MC main clause, this is SC, this SC as subordinate clause, as the subordinate clause describes about Mohan, about noun, about the person. Okay, it is this clause is used after the noun, it modifies. That's why it is called as adjective clause or relative clause. You see, this is RC. SC is equal to RC. What type of RC is it? It is a type of defining relative clause or identifying relative clause or non-defining relative clause or non-identifying relative clause. See, this RC is called as a non-defining RC, non-defining relative clause. Are you clear? Non-defining relative clause, non-identifying. Why is it called as non-defining relative clause? Because it gives information, but not essential information. It gives extra information. Extra information. It's an extra item. If we drop this part, we can know who is that person. That is Mohan. Mohan is already identified. If Mohan is already defined, It's not necessary to define, but some extra information. It gives extra information. I met Mohan. Mohan is for name. He's already identified. I met Mohan, whose bicycle was stolen yesterday. Here, whose bicycle was stolen? Just as this is not. Now, we can use comma before the relative clause and after relative clause. But here, as the relative clause or non-defining relative clause is used at the end of the main clause, there is only one comma. Means before relative pronoun. This is used as subordinate or subordinating conjunction. Here there is no comma, as it is defining relative clause. There is no comma. How the relative pronoun or pronouns are used as subordinate or subordinate conjunction? How the relative pronoun joins two simple sentences and makes complex sentence. Let's see. These are the relative pronouns: who, whom, that, whose. They are used for persons, which, that for thing, where for place, when for time. You see, who is used for the subject, he, she, they. These are the pronouns, personal pronouns. This who is the relative pronoun used for he or she or they. Who is the relative pronoun used for the pronoun object, him, her, them. That can be used for both for persons and for things. Whose for persons, okay, for his, her, their. These are the possessive pronouns that modifiers to noun is used in the noun phrase. For the possessive pronoun we can use the relative pronoun whose, which, that are used for thing, for it, the, them. For subject, it is the subject, or in the object place, it is pronoun. They can be used for person and for thing. Okay, them, it is in object place, it is in the subject place. Okay, now come to examples. These are the examples. In the first example, Sachin Tendulkar was born in Bombay. He won Bharat Ratna. These are the two sentences. This is one independent clause, one simple sentence. This is one simple sentence. We can join two simple sentences with a relative pronoun, making one as a relative clause. We can make complex sentence. You see, Sachin Tendulkar was born in Mumbai. Here, Sachin Tendulkar, you see, this is it. Sachin Tendulkar, he. In the second sentence, he is subject, he is a pronoun. It is used for the noun phrase, for the noun Sachin Tendulkar. Here, for he, we can use who. Here, we can use who. Who won Bharat Ratna? Here, it can be used here. It can be placed after Sachin, because who won Bharat Ratna modifies to Sachin Tendulkar, not Bombay. Are you clear? As it is modified to Sachin Tendulkar, we can use this relative clause after Sachin Tendulkar. Here, what is the complex sentence here? Sachin Tendulkar, who won Bharat Ratna, was born in Bombay. It is non-defining relative clause. We can use comma. Okay. Sachin Tendulkar, here who okay. Now we see Sachin Tendulkar. We can use comma as who won Bharat Ratna. Before the relative clause we can use comma, and after the relative clause we can use comma as it comes in the middle of the main clause. Sachin Tendulkar is the first part of the main clause. Was born in Bombay is the second part of the main clause. Are you clear? Now come to she is Shivani. She dances very well. Here Shivani is the pronoun she. As it is pronoun she, we can use she is used for Shivani. Shivani is noun. She is used as pronoun. Here, in the place of she, we can write who. Here, she is Shivani who dances very well. Here we can use comma. This is also a non-defining relative clause. Non-defining relative clause. She is Shivani who dances very well. As it comes at the end of the complex sentence, only one comma is used before this clause. Now come to the man is a very innocent. I have borrowed some money from him. Here, I have borrowed some money from him. The man is a noun phrase or noun. Man is noun. The noun is NP. Okay. Here, for the noun phrase, him is used as object. Here, pronoun is used as object. Here, he, she is used as subject. So, who is used? Okay. Here, for him, we can use whom. Are you clear? Now see, for him, we used whom at the beginning of the relative clause. At the beginning of the relative clause, we can use whom. For him, we used whom as a relative pronoun, as a subordinator. Relative, the subordinator of relative clause. Whom I have borrowed some money from. Now I can write the man whom I have borrowed some money from is very innocent. We can write the answer. The man whom I have borrowed some money from is very innocent. Here you see the man. This is defining relative clause. Here, whom I have borrowed some money from, or we can write from whom I have borrowed some money is very innocent. Here we can use, very good, we can here, we should not use comma. It is defining relative clause. Okay. Whom I have borrowed some money from defines the man. It says specific information about the man. But otherwise we cannot say who the man is. Okay. Here, the man whom I have borrowed some money is a relative clause. and the man is very interested. So when clause, this is complex sentence. This is a defining relative clause. Defining relative clause. No comma is used here. Okay. We can also. This is formal. In English, we can also write the man from. We can also write the man from whom I have borrowed some money is very innocent. This is a very form. This is very formal. We in modern English we can also use instead of who, instead of who, we can also write. We can also write who instead of whom. We can use who. In modern English, in spoken English, it is informal use. In informal case, we can use who in the place of whom. The man who I have borrowed some money from is very innocent. This is also defining relative clause. Are you clear? Now come to next example. I found the pen. It was in my friend's bag. I found the pen. Here, what is the pen? Pen is here. It is pronoun. Pen is the noun phrase. It is used for the pen. Here it is used as subject, so you can use as which. We can use which. Here I found the pen which was in my friend's bag. It is defining relative clause. Okay. He has been to Agra. His father lives there. Here, Agra defines the place. For Agra, I have been there. Okay. Here, he has been to Agra. Agra is already defined. His father lives there. For there, you can use Oya. Oya. Here, he has been to Agra. Oya, his father lives. We can use comma. Okay.